You guys, my husband told me that I am a very hardworking woman and I'm not okay with that. Okay, let's talk about it while I do my makeup because this is not acceptable. I am not okay with my husband telling me that I am hardworking. I'll give you my reasons, okay? Now, you guys know that in recent times, I have not had help, okay? Since we moved to the UK and moved back, I just refused to get help. Funny enough, when I was in the UK, I kept saying, when I go back to Nigeria, I'm just going to go and get help. Oh my God, I can't wait to get help. But I came back to Nigeria and so the thing is this, right? I'm not really a people person. I'm not the most people person in the history of people persons, okay? If that makes sense. So having one or two less people in my space that I have to deal with is a huge plus for me, right? Especially when it's someone new that I'll have to now start trying to get used to, trying to learn. Because I need to put on fan. You hear the sound, but I have to put it on because I'm sweating. I'm going to my children's school for Mother's Day celebration. Anyway, so especially with dealing with new people, I think my fear is more of even like having to get someone new, start watching them, start trying to make sure they understand me or they fit with my family, they fit with my kids. And I've also made so much progress with my kids. You know, we now know, like we've gotten to a place where we are kind of stable, you know, when it comes to chores and taking care of ourselves and our routines and all of that. We've come to a place where we are kind of stable, because I still have days where I am overwhelmed, right? But you know, for the most part, we're kind of stable. So I've been pretty much doing, you know, everything by myself. My husband helps out when and where he can, but you know, there's only so much he can do because he has a 9 to 5, okay, which is more important. Please, we need the money. So there's only so much he can do. I don't even expect him to do too much. You know, I don't expect him to do too much. So I'm doing a lot. I carry a lot on my head. I wake up every morning by 4 a.m. and I, you know, try to go to bed at least 9 p.m. 9 p.m. I must be on my bed. But sometimes, you know, it's not that simple. It's not that straightforward. By that 9 p.m., I'm still doing one or two things around the house, or I'm just tossing and turning on the bed because of things I have to do. But I've been doing it. I've been coping. I've been managing. In fact, he even traveled for a while and I was alone with the kids. I saw way because aside that I still exercise every day. I was even thinking that the exercising will help me you know, cope more with the stress of other things. It's not helping me cope. It's not. I now realize that it's because of the type of exercise I'm doing. I've actually started running in the mornings, and I read somewhere, or I heard somewhere that running increases cortisol, like it increases your stress levels as well, right? So I don't know how true that is, but basically I just feel like it's not helping matters either. It's not easy, right? But I've been trying. Anyway, so the other day, me and my husband were just, you know, in bed, just chatting. I was not telling him that he should tell me what he likes about me that he has not told me before. Like, aside the regular things he tells me all the time, which at this point I've heard it a million times. Like, I don't want those regular things you're always telling me. I want something new, something fresh, okay? He now mentioned that he likes that I am very hardworking. Yeah? Nope. Error. I was honestly not happy with that, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. I do know that I can be hardworking, right? I mean, I can also be very, very lazy. I'll be the first to tell you that. But for the most part, I know that I can be very hardworking, okay? However, I do not want my husband to ever see me as a hardworking person. Ever. At least not when it comes to, because I was telling him to, you know, elaborate more on what he was saying. He was talking about how, I'm always taking care of the kids and the house and everything is always on point. I understood exactly what he was talking about, right? However, I do not find it funny because that is one trap I feel that a lot of women have fallen for. You see this hardworking wife, hardworking mama, you know, strong woman. It is one thing that right from time I have always kicked against it. There are so many things now that even as an older person, people talk about now, and I'm like, I've been right from when I was a child. This thing has always bothered me. This is me debating right now. I think I've talked about this before anyway, but this is me going off point. But you see how when we go for weddings, right? Now it has kind of changed, but before, whenever we go for weddings, you see the woman dancing. Hey, she will be dancing. She will look so happy. She will look like, oh my God. She will be thanking God. She will be so joyous. Everybody will be so happy for her, while her husband will just keep stone face. Maybe just put a smile there, put a smile here, and just be walking down the aisle while she's dancing, scattering everywhere, doing leg walk. Right from when I was a child, that thing had always bothered me, like big time bothering, not even like, oh, one of those things you think about in passing. Like big time. What the hell is this? What the hell, Ian? What the hell, Berry? What the hell, LeBron James? Seriously, like, it has always bothered me big time, because I'm like, why should the woman be this excited about getting married to you, and you're just there stone faced? And I won't even say this was consciously, but even on my own wedding, I was not as active as my husband. My husband was when I was even dancing, he was scattering everywhere. In fact, people there used to think that, oh, I went to go and marry one, maybe club goer or something like that, one party boy. Like, this my husband now that looks very demure and calm. Okay, part of the reason too was that my dress, I wore a tube dress and they didn't tie it well, so the dress was kind of dropping. So I was trying to just not disgrace myself there, right? But my husband was just scattering the dance floor. Anyway, so that thing has bothered me a lot. So same way, when a woman is considered hardworking, when a woman is considered strong, she can do everything by herself, I have never seen that thing as a plus. And again, it is one trap I feel that a lot of women have fallen for. Jeez, like, you see that thing there is not praise to me at all. In fact, now mumu to me, yo. Now mumu be strong woman. Now mumu be hardworking woman. Because I don't understand this. I don't understand why a woman would proudly be doing everything in her home, and her husband will not be expected to do much, or it will be a thing of pride to her husband, when just on a normal biological basis, right? When we're talking about, biology and whatever, even when not even biology, we've always known that, men are stronger physically. Men are stronger physically, that's the truth, okay? On average, because some people come and say, no, some women can beat men. My sister, don't deceive yourself. On average, the average man is way stronger than the average woman, okay? Go and argue with your biology textbook. The truth is, the average man is stronger than the average woman. In fact, I always tell women, only fight back when that's the only option you have. If you have the option to remove yourself from the scene of any kind of physical altercation with a man, kindly extricate yourself quickly. Go and meet a boy that has gone through puberty. Go and try yourself and see. So that's why I always tell women that women should, if you can, extricate yourself, remove yourself. Don't try to show power, except you don't have a choice and you just have to fight back. Fine. Always fight back when that's the only option left. If you don't have any option left, do not shy away from fighting back. Even if that's the last thing you do, make sure you fight back. However, your first point of defense is to run away, is to remove yourself. Don't try yourself, right? So we know these things. Even the Bible calls women weaker vessels. Now, I said I was going to go and study that scripture again to really understand the context of that weaker vessel thing, as unto a weaker vessel. Anyway, but we call women weaker vessels. Fine, I accept it. I'm not even trying to be the strong vessel. I accept it, right? So why should, in a home, the weaker vessel, or the one or the gender that is known to be physically weaker, why should she be doing more of the physical chores in the house? Physical day-to-day chores? Because mind you, not only are men stronger than women on average, men do not go through as many hormonal and physical disruptions that women go through. A man, since I met my husband, what major health issue has he got? I can't tell you one. I can't tell you one major health issue my husband has gotten. Maybe, one time he has never even been to the hospital, like being admitted on, being put on admission, right? he has never had, maybe, oh, he injured himself doing something, but no natural illness or whatever has really put my husband down, you know, since I met him, right? However, me, rishi. 1 week, one trouble. 1 month, one trouble. Then childbearing. Oh, childbearing. And this is why it's something that I was, you guys, I don't have enough time, but I started talking. You know, I talk a lot. For someone who doesn't talk a lot, I actually do talk a lot. Anyway, I remember one time I was talking about this whole surrogacy thing, and I was saying that one of the reasons why surrogacy is a very, very touchy subject for me and should not be taken lightly is that pregnancy is so unpredictable. You can never know what to expect, okay? My sister, my brother, you can never be prepared enough for pregnancy, okay? Because you can have 9 pregnancies, no issues. In fact, you can be the one that used to give birth inside your bathroom. You can be the one that used to give birth inside car. You can be the one that will sit down in your room and just and the child will just, you know, creep walk out, right? You can be that kind of woman. Your 10th pregnancy might leave you blind, might leave you deaf, might leave you paralyzed, might leave you clinging onto dear life, might leave you unalived. It can be that scary, right? So that's why I'm always like, when people are talking about, oh, you just be a surrogate, this one, just go and pay her more, after all, I can afford it, I'm like, the person that you are, especially when the person is doing it for money, because most of them do it for money, let's not even cap, most of them do it for money, right? Especially someone that is doing it for money, they don't know what they are signing up themselves for. So now I'm not saying that they should not do surrogacy, I'm just saying that let's not treat it as lakatesico, as lavalier, what's the English now? Let's not be so about the whole thing. Anyway, let me walk myself back because I don't want to talk too much. Why should women who, by virtue of being women, in fact, even before I met my husband, I was dealing with menstrual pain, menstrual issues, menstrual pain, not just menstrual pain, heavy flow. Like I always had something health-wise going on with me. The average woman has rishi that she has to deal with, and even if she did not have, by the time pregnancy starts coming into the picture, pregnancy wahala, pregnancy related issues, another that one self day, the normal hormonal fluctuations throughout the month. So why should someone who naturally goes through all of that be the one in the house doing all the chores, being the strong woman, you know, doing everything by herself? I always say this thing to women, right, that I'm sorry to say, yes, maybe, you know, you might not be able to afford it and all of that, but you should not, ideally, if you have more than one child, you should have more than one help, ideally. Because if you yourself cannot stay at home alone with your child or with your children without losing your mind, why do you want to bring a help and leave them alone with your children and give them all the chores? Some of you are outsourcing your cooking, your cleaning, all your cleaning. Mind you, when I had even 2 helps, I still had a cleaner, right? But I'm not saying you must go with my own way. You don't have to have a cleaner, right? But for you to bring one help in your house and outsource everything to that help, you are a wicked person. It's either you are being ignorant, willfully ignorant, because you can't tell me you don't know what you went through, or you're just a wicked person, right? So you know how stressful that thing can be. So a woman, ideally, for me, a woman ideally should not be a stay-at-home mom without help. Without help, even if you don't have a job, you still need to have help. Especially when you have more than one child. It's crazy. Because the work is a lot. In fact, it's even a man that should stay at home without help. Because aside the fact that men are physically stronger, our children react differently to their fathers, okay? It is what it is. On average, maybe you're in your own house, the roles are reversed. You are the one that your children respect, and you know they treat your husband, you know, whatever. Okay, that's fine. Maybe that's how it is in your own house. But if you bring 100 women or 100 families and ask all the children, who do they respect more? Who gives instruction one time and it is done one time? It is usually the fathers, right? So if I decide to go on vacation today, and that's why when I want to go on vacation, I know they feel bad. I don't have to feel like, oh, we'll stay at home with the children. Oh, I'm going on vacation. I don't want my husband. I don't care. Like, figure it out. Figure it out, sir. You figure out every other thing in your life. You cannot tell me you cannot figure out this one, right? So, if I want to go on vacation, I don't really care. I mean, it doesn't mean that I'll just wake up and just leave, right? I mean, I'll put things in place to make sure that they are comfortable, but I will not go beyond myself and try to make things easy for them. I just do the basics that I would have done if I was around, and I'll move. It is easier for fathers to be stay-at-home dads, right? It is easier for fathers to be stay-at-home dads than it is for mothers to be stay-at-home mothers, because for the average woman, your children no rate you. Now, when I say this thing, I'm sure you guys understand what I mean, because some people will still come here and say, what do you mean? Oh, with me, my father, it was my mother that we did. I'm not talking about the fringe examples, okay? Like, walk with me now, walk with me. No, they go where, no, they carry you, they go. Follow me as I follow you. Let's follow each other, sensibly, please. On average, your children no rate you. I'm not saying they don't love you. Your children might even love you more than they love their father, which is what happens again in most houses, right? They might love both parents equally, but if a gun to your head, choose. Most people will choose their mothers. It's just nature. It's human nature, right? But when it comes to how they conduct themselves around each parent, most children are more put together around their fathers. I don't know what it is. I can tell my children, and mind you, I'm the one that is even more, like the other day I was telling my friend that I was telling myself, why are you acting like a dragon? Like you are, as I was, when you're in between shouts, you're shouting, I was, talking about something, I was like, why? In my head, I was just like, girl, you need to see your face right now. You are behaving like a dragon. Is everything okay? Right? So sometimes in the house, most times the woman is actually the dragon because you're going through a lot, right? when your head is full, when that knot has fallen off your head, you start acting like a dragon. So you are the one who acts like a dragon, but still your kids still somehow no rate you as they rate their father. They still respect their fathers more. I don't know if it is the tone of voice or it is the unfamiliarity. Maybe because they spend more time with their mothers. I don't know. I don't even think it's just spending more time with their mothers. I think it's just our nature, human nature. Women are more soft and all of that. So children pick up on these things. And with their mothers, I think children are more, like they always say, children are more, because they are safe with you. They just act a fool, okay? They just act up anyhow because they are more safe with you. Maybe not. I've been waiting they use wine us. It might just be that. Now waiting they use wine us. They use confuse us. Say, your children feel safe with you. That's why they don't respect you. And when I say respect here, I don't mean like your children are being very disrespectful to you. I mean that it might take you more effort to achieve the same results with your children that your husband will achieve in 1 or 2 steps. Okay, go and brush your teeth and go to bed. Okay, daddy, go and brush your teeth. But mommy, go to bed. But mommy, it's Sophia, Emma, KORA, hey. I say go to bed. What are you talking about? Is it when time to sleep? People start telling me you want this, you want that. Why didn't you tell me since? I say go to bed right now. Okay. Next thing you start hearing somebody laughing under their sheet. That's how it is in my house, right? It might not be the same in your own house. It's fine. But I'm just telling you, in most houses, it was that way. Even in my house growing up, my mom was the one that was the dragon. Still, we know rate reach my father. My father was also something once and everybody would start shaking, right? And he never even used to shout on us or even beat us or anything, but it is what it is. Anyway, so which actually will I go for? I just want a natural look, I beg. So I think it is even easier for a man to be a stay-at-home dad than it is for a woman to be a stay-at-home mom. Because I've seen some men sometimes that will say, that they stay at home with their children for one day, and it's not that difficult. I've seen it too. I've seen online people coming to say, that why are women exaggerating? It's not that difficult. I'm like, guy, you don't know these children. I used to tell my husband this thing that you actually do not know these children the way I know them, right? And mind you, he's a very hands-on dad. I mean, that goes without saying. He's a very hands-on father, but he still does not see my children in all their glory because when he's not around, when he's not in the picture, that's why I always say fathers are needed in the house. I mean, in the house with the mother, fathers are needed because sometimes I'm talking to my children, Next thing, in fact, it got to a point, sef, I started reporting my children to my husband like I'm one of them. Like, let me go and tell daddy. And next thing, they were like, no, mommy, please, mommy, no, but we're not doing it again. We've changed, right? We got to a stage like that because I was not like, why am I now one of them? Like, why am I now reporting them like I'm one of them? The way they used to come and report each other to me is how I'm now carrying them to go and report to my husband, right? So when I see women trying to get that title of strong woman, I'm like, sis, hey, sorry, oh. The worst is when you're dating. Hey, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. In fact, I was so much against that title that I tell you guys this thing, that before I got married to my husband, I never cooked for him. I never did any house chore for him. In fact, even when he came to visit me in school then, in fact, anytime he was coming to visit me in school, that's the weekend, because he used to come on weekends. That's the weekend I will not cook, I will not do nothing. I'm just here to chill and have fun and enjoy myself. So you cannot come and say you married me because of how hardworking I was. No. And because of that, there were never any expectations on me, about, whether food or cooking or doing chores or anything. Nope. In fact, there are certain things in my house that I rarely do. Then, even when he used to go for work, that he would go stay a few weeks and then come back, before my husband leaves, he will make sure there's fuel in the house, there's gas, there is water, there is light. He will go around the house, fix all the fixables. Even when he's not around and things spoil, I know they call electrician, I know they call plumber, and he knew, he used to say itself. It's him I used to call. In fact, if I'm driving the car, I had mechanic's number, but when I'm driving the car and the car does ken, or the car now stops, or something happens to the car, or the car is not starting or whatever, I call him straight. He will not be the one to call the mechanic will now come to the house and come and carry the car. I never used to go to mechanic. I still don't go to mechanic. I don't know what the bonnet looks like. I don't want to know. Now, does it mean that if I have to do these things, I cannot do them? No. If I have to do them, I'll do them. I'm an intelligent person. At least he knows that much. At least he's intelligent. We thank the Lord for that. So this one that he's not adding, you are hardworking. I don't get it. Oh, please, I'm just a baby. This is just a phase. Oh. I'm just doing this because, okay, I don't want to have help and your children are still young and they still need help. That's all. Oh. Don't look at me like someone that, got this. I ain't got shit. The sheer number of times that I hear mommy in a day is enough for me to not do anything else in this house and be fine. And she is, mommy. Just hearing it. When I tell my husband, he say tomorrow now when they are buying you gifts and telling you sweet mother up and down, you collect it soon now, so accept it. So he will say, accept it, work for it, you're working for it. That's why you're hearing mommy up and down. So when I see women who, you're dating a man, next thing, you're going to his house on the weekend, you are stocking up his fridge and freezer with food, you are cleaning, you are washing, you are doing this. I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't see why I need to audition to be your wife, right? You came into my space. You saw how neat my space was when you entered. You saw how neatly arranged my closet was. You saw how neat and clean I am as a person. You saw how well fed and well taken care of I am as a person. That's enough auditioning for you. Okay, that is enough auditioning for you. If you cannot extrapolate from that I am actually a clean, organized, and arranged and hardworking person, that's your business, that's your loss, that's your lack of insight. It has nothing to do with me. Don't involve me. You see, this extra auditioning that women go and do is what puts a lot of women in trouble. And I don't blame some of them. It's how they were raised. But I'm here to tell you now, raise yourself. Especially if you're a young girl, that these are the things that are really unraise yourself. Who was I telling? I was telling my friend that you see Lagos, having home training in Lagos, you will suffer. You see, having your knots complete in your head in Lagos, you will suffer. You have to be the one to use your hand and unscrew some knots in your head. If not, they will show you shege in this Lagos, right? So, that's the same way you have to be a bad girl. That's the same way you have to be a bad girl. Okay, I'm not saying you should now be in the streets and be outside. No, I'm not saying you should do that. But you have to unlearn some of the home training you have learned, because some of those home training is what is putting a lot of women in the mess they are in right now. See that pride women feel for being called hardworking? I feel the opposite. I feel proud when my husband talks about, Alize, she cannot do this one. Just leave her. Oh. You know how she is. She will want to do that one. As she's saying it, I'm like, when the time to come, I'll be like, baby, come now, come. He'll say, come for what? I'll say, just come now. You've not even seen what I'm calling you for. Just come and see. He'll now come. I'll now say, help me fix this thing. And it might be one small thing that I could have fixed myself. He'll now be like, so this is what you called me for? And I'll be like, yes, now, you know, just help me now. Help your wife now. You know, your wife cannot do this thing. He'll now say, story. Am I the one helping you do your channel, this, that? You can do it. And I'll be like, I cannot do it. He'll now say, anyway, he will now do the thing for me. I feel joy and pride and satisfaction at that. There are so many things in this life that you are already in minus. As you are born a woman, you already have certain things on your neck that already puts you at a disadvantage, okay? Now, it doesn't even mean, it might not be a very horrible disadvantage, but I'm just saying these are things that you have to deal with by virtue of you being a woman, on top of all the other things you have to deal with by virtue of you being a human being living in this world, right? So, do not go and now add more load on your head. Do not go and now add more suffering to your list by trying to prove a point that frankly does not add any value to your life. I keep telling women, take this from me. I'm not trying to give you tips on how to get a man or how to keep a man or whatever. That's not what this conversation is about, right? But I'm just saying, men actually like women who genuinely like themselves. And you know a woman who genuinely likes herself by what she tolerates and what she doesn't tolerate. That's why you see a man, he will date a woman for years and she'll be doing nonsense for him. He will leave her and go and date another woman who is not even doing anything for him. Even men that cheat, they will leave their hardworking wife at home, long-suffering wife at home, and go and cheat with one, you know those kind of girls. Those ones that will be knocking their heads, they'll go and cheat with that kind of person because that's what they like. So, and also you should go and knocking your husband's head though. I'm just saying that your husband will not like you more because you are hardworking or because of the chores you do at home. At the end of the day, they will even ask you, did I beg you? Did I ask you? By the time you now start talking about how, oh, you suffered, you did this, you do that one for him, you do that one for him. Did he ask you? Did he beg you? Some of you met your husband had a housekeeper, your husband had a laundryman, your husband had a cook or a chef, or had somebody he used to buy food from. Then when you now enter the picture, you are like, how can my husband or this my boyfriend, how can he be doing all these things on my watch? No, now when I'm there, I can do it. Instead of you to bring your own clothes and add to his own. Instead of you, I remember then when I was in school, I had this boyfriend. I know my parents will be watching this one, but sorry. I had this boyfriend in school then. On weekends, on Fridays, I used to pack all my clothes. I used to pack all my clothes and go to his house and add it to the one he's washing. He was the one washing, no, he wasn't even using laundry. I used to pack all my clothes that I wore from Monday to Friday, except, some little ones I wash during the week. But the major clothes, bed sheet, all those things, I pack all of them and go and add it to the ones that he's washing. When he washes them and they dry, he packs them for me. I pack them and go back to my room. I also had male friends, that I used to go to their house to go and eat. Nobody used to come to my house to come and eat though. That's the funny part. I never had any boyfriend that I would say, oh, I'm cooking for this boy, or a friend I'm cooking for. It was the opposite. I used to go to their houses to go and eat. And when I eat finish, I clean mouth. Or when they are going to eat, they invite me, I go and eat with them. I follow them and go and eat. I will not say, no, don't spend that money. Oh. Don't spend that money. I can cook. Cook what? Cook fire. Now, I was cooking for myself. Oh. If I cook for myself and let's say you come to my room to visit me and you want to eat, I'll give you. But I rarely cook for myself. Let's start with that. I rarely cook for myself. I still say it now that even now, if I didn't have husband and children, I will not be cooking. I won't be entering kitchen. I know how to cook very well. Don't get me wrong. To me, I'm the best cook I know. I'm sorry. Yeah. To me, to my own taste buds, I'm the best cook I know. Even when I go to restaurants and I eat people's food, I might enjoy it, but I would rather eat my own food, right? I'm still the best cook I know. However, if I don't have to cook, I will not cook. Okay? Like, I don't derive any joy in it. It's not something that gives me pleasure. To me, if I even try to rationalize it, it's a waste of time. Why do I have to spend hours in the kitchen to cook food I'll eat in 5 minutes? It makes no sense. Cooking is one of those things that I feel like should definitely be outsourced. And I will outsource it when the time comes. The one thing that definitely should be outsourced, please. It doesn't, I don't gain any value from it. Anyway. So let's start with that. I wasn't even cooking for myself, and it was not something that I was even ashamed to admit to anybody. Like anybody that cares to listen, when you first meet, when you first meet boys now, or you meet men or whatever, and they're not telling you, oh, when will you come and cook for me now, or when will you cook? Let me come and eat your food. I used to tell them, oh, I know they cook. Oh, I don't like cooking. It's not my, it's not my dream. It's not my wish. I'll not be like, when will you cook for me? Then come and eat. And that's how I started getting people that were cooking for me. Oh. When you say, I'll say you too, when will you cook for me? Let me come and eat. They don't say, okay, I want to cook for you. I come and eat. That was how I was doing it. No, don't see me as hardworking. No. I always want him in his head to be like, my wife cannot do too much. I don't want her to do too much. So let me help her. Because truly, he knows that the things that I am even doing now is because I want to do them. It's not because, like me not having help, it's not because he told me not to have help or anything. Or because whatever, I'm trying to prove a point. It's just because for my own peace of mind, I don't want to have help now. Even though I'm at this point, I'm reconsidering this my I don't want to have help thing. Because sometimes I'm like, my ladies, I beg, I take God beg on her. Don't do past your power, okay? Don't do too much. Stop doing too much. Do the one you can do and leave the rest for your husband. Live for God. Live for house help. Live for gateman. Live for errand person. Live for cleaners. Live for outsource everything you can outsource, okay? Because at the end of the day, you might say, oh, I'm a stay-at-home mom, why do I need to outsource these things? But that stay-at-home mom that you think that, and that's one thing about women who are stay-at-home moms, that if I let me just break this table once and for all. Yeah, let me wear my wig when I'm here talking to one nobody asked me. Anyway, let me break this table once and for all. You see how some stay-at-home moms say things like, or think that because they are stay-at-home moms, they pay more attention to their children, or they are with their children more, or they take care of their children more. Let me break it to you. If you're not careful, are you listening? If you're not careful, you are going to be a stay-at-home mom, but you're not going to be taking care of your children or spending time with them or raising your children the way you think. In fact, some working moms, some moms with 9 to 5, some moms that go out there to work actually take care of their children better because they know that they don't have all day with their children, right? They're not under the delusion that, oh, they are the best moms in the world, that they have all the time for their children. So when they come back from work, they try to make up for lost time. They try to put in more effort to take care of their children. They try to even make out more time to spend with their children. But you that you spend all day with your children, what are you doing all day? You're cleaning, you're arranging, you're cooking, you're washing, you're feeding them. You are taking care of them the way a house help will take care of them. You're not impacting their lives, you're not training them, you're not teaching them much, you're not doing much for them as a mother, okay? Not as a caretaker or as a nanny. You are being a nanny, but you're not being like a real mother impacting their lives because you are tired, you are doing other things. That's why I don't get people that will say, oh, you're a stay-at-home mom, you don't need help. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't. That's why I say you cannot even keep a house help at home and outsource everything to that house help. While your house help is doing the cleaning and fixing and washing and whatever, or feeding them, you as a mother, what can you be doing? You can be praying with them, you can be reading to them, you can be speaking with them, you can be teaching them, you can be talking to them, you can be dancing with them, you can be having fun with them, you can be enjoying your experience with them. Or you can sleep, my sister. Are you allergic to rest? You can sleep. Right? This is preaching to the choir, or this is what being a hypocrite right now, because I'm not really, but you get my point. You can actually sleep and show up better for your children and be refreshed and be happy. But no, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're arranging, and then when they come to talk to you, you're like, leave me alone, I have so many things to do, or you're answering them impatiently, or you're not in the mood, or you're not even in the right frame of mind to even treat them well. Right? We know these things. I've been a stay-at-home mom for a very long time, so don't even come and I've had phases of being at home but not being at home. I've been a housekeeper. Meanwhile, my children are just there looking at me like, she don't see me. She don't see us because you are occupied with, oh, I need their uniforms to be clean, I need their clothes to be washed, I need their shoes to be shiny, I need them to eat well, and then maybe one child is now sick. You're thinking of the child, like you are just doing more of the physical labor, but the emotional labor, the spiritual labor, you're not doing it because you don't have that. You're tired, you're stressed out, you're busy. So please, if you need help, go and get help. Don't use me as an example. Don't say, oh, she doesn't have everything and she's coping, she's thriving. I'm not coping, I'm not thriving. Don't look at me like that. I'm not coping, I'm not thriving. I'm going through it. Okay, go and get help if you need help. And if you're a man watching this video and you're one of those men that say we don't need help in this house, you're a wicked person. You are a wicked person. Your wife should be the one to make that decision for herself that she doesn't need help. No be you go tell her who go help her for house. No be you. Except you're about to stay at home and do all the chores by yourself, then that's fine. But if you want her to do all the chores by herself and you don't want her to get help, then you are a wicked person. I said this with my full chest. Come and beat me. Don't come and beat me up because they go your own way. I'm already late for my children's school. This is supposed to be Mother's Day celebration. And I didn't want to go, but my children, they kept reminding me, Mommy, are you coming? Mommy, are you coming? Okay, let me just go. All right, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. This was such an impromptu video, but let me know what you think in the comment section. Yeah, I'm trying to wear my shoe. I like my dress, you guys. This is an Ankara dress I got. The weather is so hot, so I love it. And I'm wearing my sandals I've had for years. It's cute. All right, bye guys.